One.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to this tutorial on utilizing Duolingo as a great application to integrate into your language classroom. So before I show you the ins and outs of how to set it up and utilize it in your class, just wanted to give you some of the background for why this is an extremely important application. Like I said, especially in language classrooms. I think one of the first is you can see from this page that when you get to know Duolingo, the app itself, it definitely shows the ISTE standards numbers for students numbers 1 and 3, the empowered learner and the knowledge constructor, which the empowered learner says that students can utilize leverage technology to take an active role in choosing, achieving, and demonstrating competency in their goals. Informed by the sciences. And we're going to see exactly why that Duolingo itself is meant to be personalized, which is a huge, awesome advantage there. And then number 3, with knowledge constructor, it says that students can critically curate a variety of resources that use digital tools to construct knowledge, produce creative artifacts, and make meaningful learning experiences for themselves and others. And one of the big advantages to Duolingo is the fact that it can connect students with each other, people around the world, giving real-world practice with the language, and it is constantly an evolving app as well. And so that just definitely demonstrates these standards in the classroom. Additionally, Duolingo definitely promotes personalized learning. As I already mentioned before, its design is meant to be individualized based on the student's skill and comfort level. And students have a chance to explore different types of vocabulary themed and grammatically themed exercises that even though the teacher can assign certain things within it, there's a lot of leeway for how the students can be able to explore. And this will give a lot of freedom for students of different ability levels within the same class to utilize the app to sort of just match whatever level they're at. And so these are just some examples of why Duolingo is such an integral part of the language classroom. So here I'm going to show you a real quick tutorial on how exactly to set up Duolingo, what it looks like. We'll take a brief look at the student's perspective as well. So there's no cost for enrolling in Duolingo or using it in your classes to make your school eligible. You just have to be able to provide your own school email address. And they usually only allow one account holder per school for it. So I've gone through that process already here, but it's super simple. If you just go to schools.duolingo.com, it'll get you started with that. So here I'm at the main dashboard where you can already see 2 of my classes that I've created in the past. And so I'm going to go ahead and create another one here just so you can see the process. Super simple. You name it whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it tutorial 2. You can pick the language that the students are studying based on the program, and if your students have a different other than English native language. So then after creating it, you can choose how you want to students to be able to sign up for it. The most common way is to share this classroom link, which will go ahead and give students a code that you can share in your classroom physically. You can be able to copy and paste this into an email, or if you're utilizing another learning management system such as Google Classroom or something else like that, you can post this link as well, share and remind. You can see there's just a bunch of options to be able to do that. And once students put in the code or go through the link, they will be logged right into it. And then you'll be able to tailor your classroom for the rest of it that way. So you can even print things down, which is a great option for students who may not have access to the technologies or for any needs or accommodations as well. So once you're there, like you said, your students are going to pop in here as well. You can be able to personally invite students if they're having issues or don't have their own email address. And so once your class is all set to go, it'll show their name. They can pick a little avatar for themselves. Their experience point totals are found underneath, as well as the total assignments, including any that are late or missing for your own books. So we're going to go in and create our own first assignment for this. You can do it a couple different ways. The points is a more generic, where they can accumulate points by completing different portions of different lessons. So if you are just kind of keeping it over-ended, you're having students explore, perhaps you have students of higher ability level that can easily crank through things, you can be able to assign them a total number. You can see they vary up like this, or after assigning the date and times as well, you can schedule it, and then it'll appear in every student's dashboard for them to do. The other addition is to pick a skill that the students can be able to do, in which it consists of a number of lessons. And you can see here, they go all the way through the entire Spanish curriculum piece, which we'll look at in a sec. And once that's assigned, you can again give a sort of due date for when it's done. And at that point, as I've shown you before, the students will be able to see, and you will be able to see, the lesson itself. So here's an example of one of those, or the XP, the date it was started on, the date it was due, and then you can see here the number of students in green that have completed it, those that are missing, okay, and then, or those that are late, and then those that are missing. Okay, so within the curriculum, this gives you a full outline, and you can see that it's a great personalized piece for beginning skills here. They have nice little pictures to represent each different thing. It includes a list of all the vocabularies and phrases, and they give some sentences that students will be translating or speaking. Because Duolingo isn't just a straight translation exercise. There can be the capability, if there's microphones, for students to be able to speak into it to practice their pronunciation, which is really cool. It can get a little wonky sometimes with what they accept versus not, both in how they translate things, as well as the microphone feature. You can also disable it if you need to be able to have quiet and have students just focus on it. But here you have beginner, intermediate, and then the advanced skills, which, as you can tell, can definitely get more involved with what is being learned. So this is a great way, again, to personalize those different pieces, and you can see the curriculum as a whole. The website offers some additional pieces. They can offer flashcards that students can be able to create or use on their own. Some practice of just general assortment of things and ability levels, which are great. And again, you can be able to change your classroom settings at any point. The default for when you create your own classroom setting is that students aren't allowed to interact with other users. You can change that, which of course I would caution, since that would open it up to being able to access anyone who's utilizing the Duolingo pieces as well. This site does exist also as a mobile app, but there's some restrictions to what you can do through the mobile app. It's more for the personalized use. So that's just a general setup on how you can create your own classroom and make assignments and check on things as well. So real quick, I think we're just going to take a look at an example of what the profile looks like for the student, or if you create your own. So this will show you sort of how many days you've logged in a row, so quote unquote finished a lesson. The lingots are little gems that you can earn from completing lessons, used to purchase various things, little in-game things, which is kind of nice. They can give you lists of words that you've learned and your practice level of the different things. There's forums that you can create within your own classroom. These ones are the global forums as well for the various things that are great. And then they have stories and labs as well. The stories are a much more involved way for how to be able to utilize the language in context. So these are just some examples of how to utilize Duolingo in the language classroom. It's not meant to be a standalone. Students can be able to explore other languages for fun, but I've seen it most effective when you're pairing it up with things that you're doing in classroom as a way for students to do things a little outside the normal and integrate a digital tool within. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day.